I have had an influx of new people over the past few months, and I just wanted to ask you guys to ask me some questions on Instagram. My name is Haley. If you don't already know me, I am the owner and creator of Moon Custard. I create jewelry and little gifts that have little cute little moody faces on them, so if you're interested in my work, all of my links are down below. But hello! Please, if you have a second, please subscribe to my channel, comment down below, let me know about your own business. I'm genuinely curious to hear about you guys as well. I love seeing new brands and love purchasing from small businesses for gifts for other people, so let me know down below if you have your own business or if you're learning or if you're on track to start a business someday. I plan on making more videos in the future more like this so I can kind of tell you about my experience in my own life. So my first question is, how long did it take you to get your business going, or how long did it take you to get sales? I personally have been doing this for about a year now. When I was in college, I did a lot of brand designing for other people kind of on the side, not really paying for it yet, but I did a couple of just kind of like brand designing for people that were working on their own business, and I liked it at the time, but after I graduated I kind of just fell out of love with it. Originally, if you've been following me for a really long time, I did photography and I did all kinds of different photography. I just did regular senior photography, portrait photography, brand photography, couples photography, wedding photography. Like, I did a whole slew of different things to just kind of like figure out where I wanted to go, and at the time I was obsessed with it. I loved it, but it got really competitive for me, and I just decided that it was better for me to do what made me happy, so I stopped doing photography for other people, and now the only photography I really do is for my own brand. Pretty much my entire life I've been interested in illustrations, and with Moon Custard, I actually started this business a few years ago, not to make a business or anything per se, but I really enjoyed illustrations and cute drawings and just like different little things. And back when I first started the business, I just figured I would do like an illustration account. I never really thought about it as a business aspect. And then during my college time, I got a Cricut machine and just decided that it would be really cool to start making like stickers, not even to sell, but just like for myself. And I got more into that once quarantine hit this year in 2020. I found myself with a lot of time to do something, and I figured making that time worthwhile for myself and working on my own business would be a lot more interesting than just kind of sitting around and doing nothing. So I decided that I was going to try and start doing a small business with stickers. I also decided over the time of quarantine that I wanted to do something different with my YouTube channel. For a lot of you, you probably were like, oh my god, why is Haley doing all these art vlogs? And when in reality, this is stuff I was doing behind the scenes to begin with. I really just wanted to implement that into my YouTube experience, and doing vlogs have kept me accountable, but it has also increased my volume and sales because I have more viewers here. So that's something, if you are interested in vlogging, you can use your phone, you can use a camera. I personally use a Canon M50 for my camera, but that also helped me get my business going. Another thing that really helped me get my business going and get more sales was to follow other people. I follow a lot of people on Patreon. I had Skillshare for a little bit there. I stopped paying for it because it was just too expensive for me at the time. There's so many different classes. I'm not sponsored by them by any means, but I do like their platform, and I appreciated having that kind of like other realm of things on the outside, just kind of to get more educated. And something that I've had to learn along the way is it's not just about getting sales, it's also about learning and figuring out what you like. Like every day, I swear, I wake up with new ideas to make my business better, and as a business owner, that's how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to change things, make things better, do things not only for yourself but for your customers, but never do something because other people are doing it. Always do it because you actually want to do it. So once I started kind of having that mindset, I saw my sales go up because I saw people were appreciating me being real with them and also being a different person than everybody else. So I guess to summarize all of that up, it took about a year to get Moon Custard to where it is today. So the next question is advice on how to keep track of your spending, receipts, and for your business. Personally, I use the app QuickBooks. You can get it on the computer, you can get it on your phone. I have the app on my phone personally, and I believe it's $13 a month. I know there's like a discount for the first 3 months. I feel like it's like $9 or something like that, somewhere in there. I'll put put it right here for you guys. It's really cheap, and you can also write it off in your taxes, which I will get into in a little bit here. But I use QuickBooks, and I also have a business banking account. So I set up a debit card specifically for my business. It's a business account, so I can like see everything, have receipts for everything. And then I also have my personal banking account. But all of my business stuff, transactions, buying things for the business, anything that has to do with my business, I put into my business banking account. I believe I put $500 into the business banking account when I first started it out, and then I just kind of like did everything else from there. Something that I did in the beginning that I don't recommend doing is putting all of your stuff into your personal account, because it makes it a lot harder to keep track of things in QuickBooks, because in QuickBooks you can mark whether it's a business transaction or if it's personal. If it's a business transaction, you swipe on it, business transaction, and then there's tons of different categories for business transactions. So like say I buy a computer, you can mark it as a technology transaction. So you bought a computer, and you can write that off in your taxes later on. If you use that computer, for example, for your business part of the time, so half the time you're using it for your business, half the time you're using it for personal work, later on when you file your taxes, you would do a 50% deductible on that, and the rest of it you would be pretty much paying for. So if I bought a $1,000 computer, 500 here, 500 here. I hope that makes a little bit of sense. Another thing that I really like about QuickBooks is you can really see your profit and how much you're actually making, because I know for a lot of people it's like, how much am I actually making with this business? Because you have to think about your taxes. If you aren't thinking about taxes and you have a business, you need to. Taxes are something the IRS is going to look for, and they are going to come for you if you don't file your taxes properly, or if you don't even file them at all. I highly, highly, highly recommend getting a sole proprietorship before you start anything, so you can at least track your taxes. But I want to make a bigger video about the whole like top 10 things that you need before owning a business. So if you guys want to see that video, please like this video, let me know. I would love to make something like that for you guys, because I've been doing this for 8 or 9 months now, and I feel like I kind of have a better grasp on that aspect of it now. So for my personal income, what I do is once I make money, so say I make like $500, 30% of that I will set aside in my business account for taxes. So I'll put that into, for example, for me, I just put into my separate account. I have two, a checking and a savings. I'll put the 30% into the savings account, so that way I can have that set aside. And then whatever is left over from that, I put a little bit of the money into income for my business. So you could do it one way, which is very easy. You could just half it out, whatever's left over, half it out, put half into your income and then half into more supplies for later, so you can afford things in your business. But it's really based on how much time you're putting into your business, how much you think you're worth. Another cool thing with QuickBooks is you can track your miles. So for me, for example, if I had to go pick up supplies for my business, because I do physical hand making work, if I needed to go pick something up for that, I can track my miles from my home to the place where I'm picking up the stuff. So that's another thing to think about. You can do that as well and mark it off as a deductible in your taxes as well. My next question is marketing tips. How do you increase your sales? Personally, like I said, I use different platforms. I use YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. I think I get the most sales in from Instagram. And then the next being YouTube, and then TikTok. I've definitely got it, depending on the video, I get more views per the video, per what I do. I do giveaways every now and then on my main and my art account, so if you guys aren't following me on either of those, you can check that down below. I actually have one that's ending tonight, the day that I'm doing this video, so if you want to do that, you can check that out on there. Another thing that you can do that I know is talked about so many times in these videos, but it's so, so important, is to post every day. I know it's hard. Trust me, there are days where I'm like, I don't know what I want to post, and there are days where I don't post at all and I feel bad because I know my analytics are going to go down, but it really does make a difference. I notice on the weeks that I do post every single day, I get more followers, I get more people commenting on my stuff, and it's better for engagement, it's better for your audience, and it helps out a ton. So I know it's hard. Set a day aside where you just take photos of all the stuff that you need to post. Take photos of yourself, get a friend to take photos of you. Just set a day aside to do that, and I promise you it'll help you out in the future. Another thing that I want to say that is so, so important is to be cohesive with your branding. And I don't just mean that with your color palette or branding inspiration, stuff like that. I mean with your own work. If you are really passionate about what you're doing, you are going to change that. You are going to show people, hey, this is who I am, through your branding, through your work, and it's going to be cohesive. By that I mean to make a branding board, make a board with your fonts, color palette, inspiration photos that you may have found on Pinterest or Instagram. Put those on there. Anything that inspires you, put it on this branding board, so that way later what you could do is you can make another branding board with your logo, your color palette, your website, like little sub logos, just stuff like that. Anything that has to do with your brand, you can put it all in one place and you can see if it all works together. If it doesn't work together, then change it. It's one of the most important things because every single brand has their own kind of branding cohesiveness, and whatever they do in the future usually works within that branding cohesiveness. So I think that's something that's just really important to do. Like even in my own illustrations, I take colors from my branding board, put it in there, and then use other colors around that aspect so things aren't just like way over here and like you have no idea what's going on and everything just looks different and it doesn't look good. What I do for my branding board is I actually put mine onto a Keynote file. If you don't have Keynote, it comes with Mac computers or iPhones, iPads. You can also use PowerPoint. It's literally the same thing. And that's where I put all of my branding, so that way later I can come back to it and be like, okay, this looks good, this doesn't look good, and just keep the branding cohesive. And if I ever want to change it someday, it's way easier to look back and see what I did before to change it in the future to make my brand better. So the next question is, how did you get your first sales? So something that is so important to do is make your launch day a very important day. And if it's already past your launch day and you're trying to like do better, like I said, branding, all of that is super important before you launch your business. You can't just come out and be like, oh my god, hi, I'm like making art. Like you can't do that. Nobody's gonna want to buy your stuff. The best thing you can do if you've already started, and if you haven't, is have a launch day. If you've already started, shut down whatever platform you're using, get the stuff that you want on your website first, make your branding first, and then hype it up. Like on Instagram, for example, from this personal launch that I'm having, it's been a month since my website's been open and it looks completely different. So I've been kind of like making it an incentive for people, like 1 more week, 3 more days. And then like today I'm like, tomorrow's the day that I'm filming this. Today is the day. So if you want to buy something from my website, it's live now. I think it's important to do that because people will like see it and they're like, oh, I'm hyped to like buy something from them on this day. And then they want to be there on the launch moment. Like they want to click, I want to buy this on launch day because they can say, I bought this on launch day. So I think it's important to just hype your audience up, get people excited about your business before you even launch it. Don't just jump into it and do whatever you want because it's not going to work out. Every time I failed a business personally, it's because I haven't hyped it up and I've just dived in like literally head first into the business. It's important to have all of the little aspects done before you just launch something. The next question is, how do you network on social media? Personally, what I do to get my network on social media is I interact with other people. You don't have to be friends with people to talk to them, and if you really like somebody's work, let them know. Send them a DM and be like, hey, I really like your work, like it looks really good, and that's it. Don't be like, can you check out my stuff? Just talk to them. Like, people are people. I personally hate when people are like, oh my god, come look at my stuff. I like your stuff, come look at my stuff. It's like, if you're reaching out to me and you're saying, hey, I like your stuff, I've probably, after I see that message, I'm gonna go look at your stuff. You don't have to tell me to come look at your stuff. I'm probably gonna go look at your stuff. Don't do that. Don't badger people. Just say, hey, I really like your stuff, and then have a conversation from there. You don't have to just bombard people with, come look at my stuff, like I just opened my business. Like, nobody likes that. Don't do that. If you say, hey, I really like your stuff, people are gonna come look at your stuff. Also, if people have a ton of followers, you don't have to just be like, oh, well, they're never gonna see my message, because there have been so many times I've messaged people that I'm like, oh my god, I love their stuff, I have to tell them, and they have like 100K, and literally 5 minutes later, they message me back. Like, don't be afraid to reach out to people and just say, hey, because you never know who you're gonna meet. You never know who you're gonna talk to, become friends with, and may even possibly work with in the future. So I think it's important to reach out to other people and be a part of the community rather than just being like, oh, I'm too scared to talk to people because they have like thousands of followers and I'm irrelevant. So my next question is, what inspired you to start creating your earrings and your art in general? Well, let me tell you, when I was a kid, I actually worked with polymer clay a lot. Like, I literally had this like filing cabinet in my closet with different polymer clay things that I created, tons of different polymer clay colors. And during quarantine, polymer clay became this like big thing again. And I was like, okay, it'd be really cool to like try that out again and like get into it again. So I decided to like dip my foot in and do pens first, and I realized how much I missed it. It was something that really calmed me down with anxiety when I was a kid. And when I got older and stopped doing it, I had a lot more of anxiety. So I started doing that, and I really liked that. And then one day I was like, you know what would be really cute? Some daisies with some really moody faces on them, because like I personally have like the biggest RBF, and I just think it's funny. So when I put the little faces on the little flowers, I was like, this is so cute. So I just decided to do it and kind of go for it and do a ton of research on like what items to use, what supplies to get, what colors look the best. I started working with different color palettes outside of my realm, and I've kind of just, I don't know, I found kind of like my personal favorite taste in what I do, and I think it's, I don't know, I'm just happier with my work now than what I was creating 8 months ago. When I was a kid and like in college, I didn't really work with a lot of different colors either. So this is something that's like super outside of my realm of things that I'm doing. I would usually just work with like black and whites, charcoal, ink, and I never really worked outside of the realm of that. My next question is, how do you stay motivated? There are days where I just don't want to do anything, and I just want to sit on TikTok all day and not work on my work. But in reality, I do have to work to get things done. So I really think that it is a good thing to have kind of a plan in your head. Okay, this is what I have to do this week. Or write it down if that works better for you. Have a planner. But for me personally, I never follow that. Even when I tried to, I literally own like 5 planners, and I have like 1 week filled out in all of them, and then I forget about it and I set aside and never do it. So my personal plan, you don't have to do this if planning and doing that kind of organization stuff works out for you, but personally what I do is I write it like on a sticky note, like what I have to do during the week, and then I'll just go day by day. And if one day I'm just like, I don't want to do anything, I won't do anything. I personally feel like if you don't give yourself those grace days where you just don't do anything, you're gonna burn out and you're not gonna want to work. I try to stay motivated by giving myself grace and just kind of like pushing forward as much as I can. And if I feel like that I can't do something one day, then I won't do it, because that's just pushing myself too much. And then some days I'll have like 5 things still on my sticky note, and I will be like, let's go, let's do everything I have to do on the sticky note. So it's really just kind of like, I take it day by day. I do what I need to do. Like for example, tomorrow is my launch, and I'm just like, I have so much I have to do. Whatever works for you, if planning and a planner works for you, do it. But personally, that's just not how my head works. So do what you are comfortable with. My next question is, how do I start a platform? I'm planning on making an entire video about this. I've already mentioned a couple of times in this video, I'm planning on making kind of like the 10 steps to making your business like a reality type of video. I really want to do that for you guys. I get so many questions on like how to start a business, how to even just become somebody and like do something with your time and make a business like a real thing. I'm planning on doing a video, so I will get more in depth in that when I do that video, and I'm planning on doing it by the 23rd of November, so look out for that. The best advice I can give you, like the number one thing for starting a platform, is to pick a name. And I know that's like so cliche, like, oh, pick a brand name. It is. It is cliche, but you gotta think about what you want your business to portray. What do you want to do with your business? And personally, for me, Moon Custard could have been something illustration based, sticker based. It could have been anything. So instead of just putting myself in a little niche being like, oh, well, I want to be like Stickers by Haley, like I would be forced to do stickers all the time because that's my name. So I decided to make my name Moon Custard because first, I thought it was a cute name. Also, it's simple. You don't want to have a super long name where it's like Stickers by Haley and Estep. Nobody's gonna remember that. Make your name short, sweet, to the point, but also you don't have to make it like because this is like what you're doing. You can make it just a word. For example, I love this person that makes these little hair barrettes that I use all the time, and you'll see them in my vlogs. And her brand name is Chunks. Like, it has nothing to do with the hair barrettes, but it's cute. It's short, it's to the point, and it's so easy to remember. So think about it like that. Take some time on it. Moon Custard just kind of came to me one day and I was like, that's cute. There we go. It has been a good overall like umbrella on any business aspect I've ever worked on, whether it was illustration, stickers, painting, my earrings that I make. It's just been a good overall umbrella. So think about it that way. Kind of think about it like as an umbrella rather than like a brand name. Don't just be generic, do something different. Get out of your box, and you don't have to be stickers by whatever your name is, or illustrations by whatever your name is, or blank studio. Like, just do something different. That way you can do whatever you want with your business and nobody's gonna question you otherwise. Next question I have is, how do you balance making art and managing the legwork of running your shop? I set days aside. So like I said, I don't plan things in my head, but I know kind of like have an idea of like what I need to do during the week. For me personally, I'll be like, okay, this day I need to work on website stuff. This day I need to work on the art stuff or stocking things, so that way I can have things at hand when I need to go and ship them out later. So I think it's important to just have like kind of like an idea of what you want to do one day versus another day. Just kind of plan it out. I'm not really the best at that kind of stuff. Like I'm more like, this is what I do. I just think about it in my head. I'm like, this is what I need to work on tomorrow, or this needs to be done by this date so I can have it done on this date so it can be launched on this date. So I don't know, just kind of having like an idea of like what you want to do with your shop, what you want to do with your image. I just really recommend having like your brand set up first before anything. When you get into your business and you launch, you can focus on the art and you don't have to worry about what your website looks like or what this looks like or this. Like, just focus on your business first and then focus on the art. That way you can have a better idea of what you're working on and you're not like all clouded up in your brain like, what am I doing? Also, don't force yourself to do anything because other people are doing it. If other people are doing it and being successful, that's great, but you don't have to do everything that everybody else is doing. Like, it's not necessary. So just do what makes you happy personally and work with it. My next question is, how much public interest did you have before starting your shop? How did you know, oh, people want this? I've been creating YouTube videos for about 4 years, and during quarantine, I just kind of wanted to do more. Sorry, my cat is here now. Hello. I just like, during quarantine, I really wanted to get back into working on YouTube videos. I thought about doing other things. Why are you so cute? I thought about doing other things, but personally, I knew I wanted to do studio vlogs. I did one a really long time ago. I believe it was like 2 years ago. And I always wanted to do more, but it was really hard to do because I was in school and I was working all the time. So I never did it. So I finally had the chance to do it. So I was like, it's time to do it. Let's just do it. Let's get it over with. Put your foot in the water and do it. So at first I think I did like a video almost every day for like the first few weeks. After that I did like 2 videos a week, and then I did 1 video a week. So now I'm at like 1 video a week. Sometimes they're studio vlogs, sometimes they're vlogs like this. More times than not they are studio vlogs because they're way easier to film during the week when I'm busy working on my shop. Trying to figure out like, oh, people want this. I didn't really know if people would want this. I knew people liked stickers, so that personally worked for me. But I didn't really know in the beginning what I wanted to do. So I tried to be like other people and like do like what they were doing. And about 4 months ago, I realized that that wasn't what I was supposed to be doing. And I kind of shut down what I was doing and started making my earrings that I have currently on my ears right now. And I personally liked that more because I felt like I was creating something like, wow, this is really pretty, let's put that out there. Not, oh, this person's doing this, let's kind of do something similar. Like, I wanted to do something different, and I think it just worked out in my favor that I did something like that. I personally think that like making stickers is great and it was a lot of fun, but I don't want to be like everybody else. I want my brand to be its own thing. So I didn't really know if people would want it or not, but I think that was kind of the excitement of it, was like, it's different. It's different than what everybody else is doing, so it worked out better for me. It's kind of hard to explain because it's like, I don't know if people are gonna like what I put out there. Like, tomorrow I have my launch and I have no idea what's gonna happen. So I just kind of do what makes me happy, and if that's fine with me, then I'm satisfied with that. And if it doesn't make me happy, and if it doesn't make me want to pursue better and do more, then I'll stop doing it. For example, I used to have like, I think 12 different types of stickers on my website. Now I only have like 4. So I do it by the book, and what makes me happy is creating and making my business better for not only myself, but for you guys. But I always put myself first because my business is another portrayal of myself. I hope that answered your question. That was a lot of information. So my last question is, do you need some kind of permit? So like I said, like 5 times in this video already, I'm going to be making a video all about like the beginning stuff that you need to know before starting a business. But yes, you want to get a business license before you do anything. It'll make things 10 times easier and the IRS won't come for you. I have a business license and I have a sole proprietorship of Moon Custard. So what that means is all of like the legalities fall under myself, under my name, my social security number, all of my business legalities fall under that. So a sole proprietorship is not an LLC. It's a little different, but it's similar in a lot of aspects. It's just instead of it falling under the business name, like lawsuits and all that legal stuff, it falls under me. So if I get sued, it's falling under my name, not my business. So what you have to pay for in a sole proprietorship is A, the business license, and also a DBA, which is doing business as. So personally, I'm Haley Estep, doing business as Moon Custard, which is my business. So I have a sole proprietorship over Moon Custard because I am the only one that owns it. I pay for that license, and someday it might be an LLC if I continue to do more. But it's a good way to have that kind of information, not only to be able to sell things and be able to pay your taxes, because it's extremely important to pay taxes. I know taxes is like one of those things where you're starting out, you're like, I don't want to pay taxes. You need to, because the IRS is going to come for you if you don't. You also want to make sure that you're doing things financially correct. I need to talk about this more in another video because there's a lot I could be talking about right now. But for me personally, I have a sole proprietorship. I would love to talk about it more. If you guys are interested in that, let me know down below, to kind of like help you guys out a little bit more, because I know it's a lot of information. I want to like make it simple for you guys. I don't want to just like come on here and be like, I know what I'm talking about, because I'm not a lawyer. But personally, I have a sole proprietorship over Moon Custard, doing business as Moon Custard. So that is that for me. Yes. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was a little bit different than like my normal just talking and chatting vlogs, but this is something that I really wanted to do because I know a lot of you had questions. If you like this video, please subscribe. I know there are a lot of you that aren't subscribed that watch my videos. I would love to see you in the comment section more. Please like this video if you enjoyed, or if you learned anything, or if you want to know more, please let me know down below in the comments. Add me on Instagram on both my accounts, Hey Estep and Moon Custard. All of that info is down below. My website is down below if you are interested in shopping my earrings or anything else that I create. So thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye guys.